Hello, everybody. Good evening to everybody. Today we're going to discuss on how to manage the sales pipeline for your leads and deals in Kala Sales CRM. Abhishek is going to take this session with you. So, I'm going to hand over this session to Abhishek.
Hi, thank you, Pravash. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to another webinar of Kailas. So, as Pravash explained you, today we are going to touch base upon the concept of pipelines in Kailas, right? So, before I go into the Kailas system itself and show what pipelines are all about, let us see some slides about pipelines because pipeline is something which is very much closely related to your business than the CRM, right? Because as we know, pipeline is nothing but it's a representation of your own sales process or lead nurturing process in Cal. I hope my screen is visible to everybody. As I was saying, so what is a pipeline, right? So every company, every one of us having our own company, our own business, we are doing some sales in the market, right? So we do have our own lead nurturing process. We do have our own sales process. So in Kailas, you get a feature to replicate that sales process in terms of a pipeline and pipeline stages so that we can associate a pipeline with a lead or a deal and we can see in which stage every lead is or in which stage any of the deal is, and it gives us lot of clarity in terms of how our business is progressing, how our lead nurturing is progressing, and there are many key decisions that we can take based on the pipeline and its stages and the number of leads or deals lying in every stage, right? So how do we optimize our sales process with the help of pipeline? How do we calculate the revenues based on the stages? How we can recognize the shortfall in our sales strategy just by looking at the reports? So these are few things that we are going to cover in today's webinar. Okay, so this is one of the example of a typical sales pipeline, typical lead nurturing pipeline. So most of the time what happens is that we receive a lead from different sources like our social media campaigns or maybe cold calling, or there can be n number of sources from which we get the leads in the system. Then the lead is created in the system but it's not yet contacted, right? Then one of our pre-sales executive would have a contact established with the lead. So that is the point when the lead can be moved in a pipeline in the contacted stage. And let's say if one of our sales executive has contacted, then we have pitched some product or service that we are offering in the market to the person, right? And if that lead seems interested, then we typically mark that lead as qualified. Or in case if that is not interested, maybe it has a junk query or the person is no longer interested or because of any of the reasons, we may mark them not qualified, right? Similarly, for deals, there is a typical pipeline. So when deal, as we know in Kailas, represents the sales opportunity that is lying in the system. Once a lead is qualified, we convert a lead and create deals in the system. So we can have a sample pipeline for deals, like when a deal is created, it goes into new deal section. Then we can move the deal to feasibility study. So once we discuss with the customer, we understand their requirements, and maybe if there are some changes need to be done in our product or service that we are offering, then those can be marked as feasibility study. And then there could be a demo. So if we are selling a software in the market, we may give a demo, or even if we are selling some other product, so we can mark them as demo. Then there is a typical step in every sales where we send a quotation to the prospect. So that can be one of the stages. So these are some typical stages. It's not mandatory that every company will follow the same set of steps. These are very high level stages that more or less every company follow, but you may have your own stages in the pipeline. based on your own sales process, your own business. So Kailas gives you a feasibility to create your own pipeline in the system. You create your own pipeline stages. So now let me share my screen where I will show you how we can create stages in Kailas. So let me know when my screen is visible. I'm now sharing one of my Google Chrome window. Is it visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So as always, we'll start with signing in with one of my test account. So currently I am logging in Kailas with the help of one of my test account credentials. And the moment I log in, so this is the screen that is visible to us, which is nothing but the dashboard. Now, how do we create a pipeline? So for that, we have to navigate to CRM settings that you can find a small gear icon on the bottom left of your screen. When you click on that, it takes you to the settings dashboard. And there are two ways we can navigate to pipeline. One is the under customization section. You can click on this manage pipeline, or in case through the left hand navigators, we can expand this customization and click on manage pipelines. Once I enter in the pipeline section, I get to see the list of all pipelines that are available in the system. So when you sign up very freshly on Kailas, you see these two pipelines created by default for you. One is the default lead pipeline, another is the default deal pipeline. But as I said, you are free to create your own pipeline. So you can click on this add button and click on your pipeline. So let me go ahead and create a pipeline. Or before that, let me show you some typical stages that we have mentioned in the lead pipelines. So when I click on that, it looks like this. This is the pipeline details page, and these are the stages. Okay. So every stage has its own name, its win likelihood, and the description. Let me put some light on the win likelihood. So as you can see, this is a number in percentage. Okay. So win likelihood of any stage signifies the probability of closure of a lead. So every stage has its own win likelihood, let's say 0%, 20%, 40%, 50%, right? So what it means is, if any lead has reached to this particular pipeline stage, the likelihood of closing that deal becomes that much of the percentage. So like in this case, let's say if any lead has reached to demo stage, then as per my own calculation, there are 70% of chances that this lead will be closed. So this gives you a visibility like how many leads are in this particular stage. That means you can be assured that okay, there are 70% chances of getting this lead as closed, right? So this is what this win likelihood is all about. And name of the stage is standard, like you can have your own name. So I'll show how we can create more stages in this and how we can add a description. Also, there is a set of exit reasons that we can see at the bottom, right? So what happens in Kailas is, let me show you on the sales itself that how do I attach a pipeline. Then I'll tell you the use case of this exit reasons, why exit reasons are there. Okay, so let us say I go to a lead and there are many leads. So let me go to one of the lead and attach a pipeline. So this is one of the lead in the system. This is how the lead details page looks like, as we are very much familiar of this page. When I click on this attach pipeline, it opens up edit lead and I can see one of the pipeline. And if I save this, this is how the pipeline looks like on the details page, right? So whatever stages were there in the pipeline, as you can see, there are many stages like open, prospected, contacted, requirement gathered, then demo, meeting conducted. You can see all those stages over here. Okay, and I can click on any of the stage and mark it as current. So imagine I am a sales executive. This pipeline has been assigned to one of the lead that I am working on, right? So what I will do is, the moment I made some sort of contact with this lead, I'll move that in the prospect or contacted stage. So this name of the stage and the definition when this stage will be moved is completely dependent on you and your sales process. You can put any name in this place, you can put any description, and you can define, you can explain your sales users that when they have to mark this stage for any of the lead. So I am taking my own example. So let's say in my case, whenever a sales executive has established some sort of contact with a lead, they are supposed to mark this lead in the prospected or contacted stage. So how do I do that? I click on that and click on mark as current. Since this is already the current stage for this lead, there is no mark as current button. Along with this stage, I get to see the description. So this tells me when I am supposed to mark this deal, this lead in this particular stage. And I also get to see some more details like when this lead entered in this particular stage and when this stage is completed. So let's say if I move this stage, this lead to another stage, then I get to see that for how much of time this lead was there in this particular stage. So this also gives you an idea that how much time your sales executives are taking for each of the steps. So let's say you can have some TAT for your sales executives. For example, the moment a lead is created in the system, you should contact them within, let's say, an hour or so, right? So you can see this, if this is more than an hour or more than 2 hours or something like that, then it can be a point to raise that why did it take longer time for contacting this particular person. Okay, since the duration for which this lead was there in open stage was, let's say, a couple of hours or something, which is beyond your expectations, right? So this gives you a lot of idea about a particular lead in terms of in which stage the lead is currently, for how long this lead was there, and when this lead entered in a pipeline stage, right? Now what happens is, let's say I have followed all the stages and eventually this lead shown some interest in the product or service that I was pitching. So I can close this lead as 1. So when I mark this lead as 1, it's actually lead is closed. That means this person is now interested. It is a prospect for me. Just in case, suppose at any point of time during my pitching, this person seems not interested in the product, or any point of time if this person said me that I don't want to go further in this discussion, I can mark a particular lead as either unqualified or lost. When I click on this unqualified, I get to see the reasons. Select the reasons why this lead is unqualified, right? So this list of reasons that you can see is coming from here. Okay, so I can add n number of reasons for my lead, whichever based on my own business experience. There you could have your own reasons, right? That typically you hear from your customers. Now why these reasons are important? Okay, so let's say if I enter this reason as wrong number and I save this, okay, what I can do is I can actually fetch a report. I'll show how we can create reports in pipeline, but eventually I can fetch a report based on this, that how many leads were unqualified because of some reason, for example, wrong number. Okay, so I can get to know, okay, there is something some mistake that we are doing in terms of sourcing the leads. Maybe we are getting incorrect contact numbers from whichever source we are getting the leads, right? So this can be a point to note that many of the leads are coming with a wrong number. That means there is some problem and we need to take some action on the source from where we are capturing the leads. Similarly, there can be any different reason, let's say not interested in anymore, or duplicate customer, or anything, right? So this gives us a clarity over a period of time. If we see that for a particular reason, if the leads which lost or unqualified are more, then we can take some action in order to rectify the problem so that the number of unqualified or lost leads are reduced over a period of time. Because eventually the ideal case is every single lead which is there in the system should be closed as one ultimately. But in reality, that is not the case, right? Many of the leads are disqualified and lost. So these reasons gives you a picture that why these leads are getting disqualified, why these leads are getting lost, and you may take a better business decision in terms of reducing these reasons, reducing the unqualification or loss of a lead, right? Now let me go back to the pipeline. So I'll quickly tell you how we can create a pipeline. So we have to simply click on this add button and I have to give a pipeline. So as I said, I can have multiple pipelines in my system. You can create different lead nurturing pipelines for different geographical locations. So let's say you have business in multiple nations, right? So maybe your pre-sales team of India might follow a different set of stages, but your pre-sales team of United States of America can follow a different set of stages depending on the geographical location, depending on the behavior of customers, right? So I can have multiple pipelines. So let's say India lead pipeline, suppose, right? I can give any name to this pipeline and I can save this. Or sometimes companies do follow different pipelines based on different products. So let's say we are dealing with multiple type of products, right? So every product has its own sales process that is followed. So we can create different pipelines for different products as well. And we can associate a particular pipeline based on the interested product of a lead or deal, right? So once I create a pipeline, this is the place where I am navigated to, and here I can add more stages. So you can see 4 stages are added by default: open, won, unqualified, and lost. But in case if I want to add more stages, I can click on this add button and I can enter the stage name. So as there is a typical stage, let's say contacted, okay, I can add a description over here. I can give a win likelihood which is, let's say, 20% in this case, and I can save this. So this stage is now located over here. Similarly, I can add another stage 3, for example. I can give some win likelihood to this stage 3, and then I can keep on adding more stages. So I can, at any given point of time, if I would like to add another stage, suppose you had created this pipeline and saved this, right? Now over a period of time, if your sales users are coming back to you and they are saying, okay, apart from these stages, we follow few more steps in order to convert a customer, and that should also be marked as a stage in the pipeline in Kela. So you can very well go ahead and add a new stage at any given point of time. So there is a stage 4, for example, and I can save this. So I can keep on adding more stages in the pipeline and I can save this. This one, unqualified and lost, these are fixed stages, so I cannot add any stage in this particular category. I can add only those stages which will be visible on this section. The one, unqualified and lost, these are the terminating stage of a lead which are fixed. I can change the name. Let's say in case of one, I would like to call this something else. Let's say lead closed. So that name I can change, but I cannot add more stages over here. So if I will attach that pipeline, let me mark it active. Once I mark it active, I can attach it with a lead. So I can see India lead pipeline over here. When I save this, then the pipeline has been updated for that lead, and I can see the stages that I had added in the pipeline, and I can see the name of the lead, the pipeline stages as I had updated them. Similarly, if I want, I can add more exit reasons. So let me remove this pipeline from here, because if this lead is already, if there is some lead attached to this particular pipeline, I cannot deactivate a pipeline. in order to make any changes in the pipeline, I have to deactivate them. But if there is any lead which is associated with this pipeline, then I won't be able to do so. I'll have to clear this, and then let me go back and deactivate this. And now let us have a look on the exit reasons. So there are n number of exit reasons that are already there. That is, budget does not match, for example, false inquiry, wrong number. So you can either rename this reasons, or on top of that you can add more reasons. So over a period of time, let's say when sales is progressing, so our sales executives may come up with new reasons that customer has given them. Okay, so we can add all those reasons in this list so that we have a check on that, how many leads have been disqualified or lost because of these reasons, right? I can delete any of the reason at any given point of time. Let's say this reason is no longer valid for me, I can delete them, and I can save this pipeline stage. And if I would like to see this pipeline on any of the lead form, then I will have to activate that. Okay, so once I activate, I can see that pipeline over here, right? And I can associate this. Now, similar to lead, we can create deals pipeline also. So how do I create a deal pipeline? I simply go to add, and let's say India deal pipeline. Now in the deals, the stages of pipeline are typically related to the sales, because we have to notice one point over here is that a lead is moving into a deal only when a lead is qualified. So whatever leads are coming in the deals stage, they have been already qualified, and now there is some business opportunity that is lying. They have not bought any product or service that we are offering, but they have shown some interest and we have converted them in prospect, right? So these stages typically related to the sales. So some stages could be like quotation sent, let's say. So there is a 50% chance, for example, I can have that stages. Then let's say negotiation in progress. Okay, so it can be another stage. And then based on your own business, you can have more stages in between, and I can save this pipeline and I can mark it as active. So what happens is, when I go to my deals section, if I edit any of the deal or I create a new deal, I can see that pipeline. When I edit this, if I open this drop down, I can see India deal pipeline over here that is recently created, and I can associate this particular pipeline to the deal. And this is how it looks like on a deal details screen. And similar to leads, I can change the pipeline stages. I can see for how long this particular deal was there in a particular stage, when it got entered, what is the description of that stage. And same as lead, I can close a particular deal with a one stage, or I can disqualify or lost. So sometimes it happens based on our negotiation or in any stage during the sales. Sometimes people do not go ahead, right? Because of, let's say, budget concerns or some conditions are not matching with them. So there are scenarios when even if a lead has been converted into a deal, but that deal is not closed as one. So in that case, the deals are also closed as lost. And same as leads, we have some reasons on the closure of deals as well that can be marked over here, and we can again fetch a report on the deal pipelines that how many deals have been closed with a certain reason, for example, low budget in this case, right? So we may give a thought that are we really sourcing the good leads who have proper budget based on the price that we are offering in the market, or we are overpriced. That can also be a point of view of thinking that If consistently leads are disqualifying because of budget issues, then maybe we can think and revise the product pricing, right? So these are some set of insights that we get based on the pipelines. I think that somebody has raised their hands. Pravash, can we address the
Yes,
queries here?
I think Venkat has some question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hi Venkat.
So, Venkat, over
go
to
ahead,
you.
Abhishek.
You can unmute yourself.
Yeah. Actually, at this point of juncture, I just want to know if the lead is been converted into deal.
Mm-hmm.
So whether the lead will be automatically shown in the deal, or again we need to modify manually to convert into a deal.
Okay,
That's
that's
what
a
I am like to
yeah,
know.
that's a very good question, and thanks for raising this at this point of time. So what happens is, whenever a lead is interested in our product, there is a provision of converting a lead in Kailas. So when you are on the lead details screen, you can see there is a button called convert. Okay. When I click on this convert button, I get to see three options: deal, contact, and company. So based on my own scenario, I can convert a lead into a deal. I can convert a lead into a contact. So what this conversion essentially does, it at the end of conversion, it creates a deal, it creates a contact, or in case if it's a B2B sales, then it creates a company as well. Let me go ahead and convert this deal, this lead. So let's say I convert a lead and create a deal. So you don't have to create the deals separately when a lead is interested and it is closed. In one click, you can create these three different entities. And if you notice, I can associate a pipeline right at the time of lead conversion itself. And let's consider it's a B2B sale. So I'm creating a new company also. Then I can convert. Okay. Once a lead is converted, it creates three different entities: deals, contacts, and company. And if I go to the details page of every entity, these are all associated with each other automatically. First and foremost, when a lead is converted, this is how the details page of converted lead looks like. Here there is a badge added of lead converted, and in which entities the lead was converted, it is shown over here. Okay. And if I go to a particular deal that I converted my lead into, so this is how the deal details page looks like. That deal is also listed on the listing page as well. So I can navigate to that deal from the listing page. When I click on that deal, I get to see associated contact. Okay, which is nothing but the same person whom I was talking to, but now that person isn't marked as lead in the system, but it has been converted into a contact. So there is a major difference between leads and contacts in Kailas, right? Leads will be having all sort of suspects in the system who may have shown some interest through your online campaigns or some other ways, right? But once that person is interested, that means it is a prospect now. You can convert that and create a contact out of it. So the list of contact that you will see on your screen is nothing but the list of prospective customers with whom there is some sales opportunity that is lying in the system. There is some deal going on in the system. He is nothing but your contact. And when I go to that contact details screen, I get to see all associated leads, associated deals that are going on with the customer. Or let's say if this person has purchased some product in the past, then I get to see the won lead deals also and lost deals also. So this concept of lead conversion and creating a contact is very much useful in the case of reselling. Let's say a person showed, now I'll tell you a quick sales journey. Okay, so what happened? We ran a social media campaign. This person showed some interest in one of my product. I created them as a lead in the system. This person was interested, hence I converted that lead and created a deal, contact, or company. And let's say this deal is closed also. Suppose this person ended up buying the product that I was selling them. So this is the deal, and let's say this deal is now closed, right? So this deal is visible in the one deal section of this particular contact. Now suppose the same person has approached me for some other product or service that I am selling in the market. Okay, now what do? So we will not be going to create that person as a lead in the system. Why? Because that person has already done some business with me in past. So that is not a lead for me. That is already a prospect. So what do we have to simply do is you just go to that contact details screen and create a new deal. Instead of creating a lead and nurturing the lead and then converting, we simply have to go to that contact details page and add a deal. At the time of adding a deal, this contact, you will see it's by default associated with the deal as a associated contact. And let's say I create another deal for a different product that I am pitching to that person, or that person himself or herself is interested in, and I can save this. So now I can see another deal which is open for this person. So on this particular screen, I can have a visibility of the business that this person has given me or the sales that are going on, right? So this is the whole concept of lead conversion. And once I convert, I can create deals, contact, and company at a time. And then in between, I can associate that deal pipeline with the deal that I am going to convert, right? I hope this answers your question, Venkat.
Yeah, got it.
All right, perfect. Let us move on. So what we have covered so far is that how we can create pipelines in Kailas, how we can create lead pipeline, how we can create deal pipelines, how we can add reasons, and how we can associate these pipelines with the lead and deals, and how we can change the stages. Now let me quickly cover how we can have reports on pipelines. Okay, now since I have created pipelines, my sales team is very well updating the stages on time as and when they are performing some activity. Now, how it is benefiting me, right? So what I can do is at any point of time, I can see a report based on pipeline stage. Okay, so suppose there is a lead pipeline that is in progress. Now I would like to see how many leads are there in a particular pipeline stage, or how many leads are there in different pipeline stages of a pipeline. So what I will do is I will simply create a new report, let's say lead by pipeline funnel, or let's say lead by pipeline stage, right? I choose the report type as one dimensional or multi-dimension. Then I choose the entity type as lead, choose the chart type, the time period over which I would like to see the data. So let's say we choose the data is last year, which is the data of 2021, and I choose the dimension as pipeline stage. And if you notice, the moment I chose pipeline stage as a dimension, it asked me to add a filter of a pipeline, because at a time we can see only one pipeline data in the system, right? So let's say default lead pipeline I choose. This is one of the pipeline that I typically use, let's say in my sales cycle. Okay, so I can generate that and I can save this. Now it is now in my default lead pipeline. There are many stages. Out of them, there are 2 leads in one stage and there is 1 lead in demo or meeting stage. Suppose now from where this data is coming, it's coming simply from our leads, which is nothing but displayed over here. Okay. Suppose now let me attach default lead pipeline to this lead, and let's say this is now in the prospected stage. Okay, if I save this and if I refresh this report, let me change a simple parameter over here that instead of created at, we would like to see on the updated at. So now you can see there are more leads in this. So instead of last year, let me do it current year, because I just updated that thing. So in the update of December 31, it will not be shown. 2021 it will not be shown because I just changed that stage. Now if I am filtering the data over a period of the year 2022, then now that data will be shown to me. Okay, so you can see there is one lead in the prospect or contacted stage, and let's say if I would like to see that very lead, which is that lead which is in this particular pipeline stage, so I can hover my mouse over this and I can click on this one lead, which is nothing but a hyperlink, and it takes me to the listing page of leads, applies all those filters that we have added in the report, and it shows me that lead. So if I go to another tab, this was the same lead on which we had updated a pipeline and the stage. The same lead has been filtered over here, right? So I can have a visibility of number of leads or a number of deals in a particular pipeline stage, and I can see, let's say, suppose if there is a pipeline stage of negotiation, right, in the deal report. Now I get to see that there are many leads, many deals which are stuck in the stage of negotiation, right? So that gives me an idea that there is some problem going on in terms of negotiation. Why there are so many deals in the negotiation stage? Okay, so I can pinpoint the owners of that deal, that why this deal is still in negotiation, what is the problem, where the negotiation step is stuck. So that visibility is given to me with the help of reports. So let's say deal by pipeline stage. So what I can do is, similar to lead, I can have a report created on deals and let's say pipeline stage, and again I will have to choose one of the pipeline. Metric is number of deals, and let's say again I am filtering out the data of last year. Okay, so it, since I have little less data in my account, it is showing only these many leads, these many deals in this particular pipeline stage. But let's say, let me change one of the stage of a deal. So let's say this is one of our deal, and let me update pipeline over here, and let me mark this stage as negotiation. Okay, so now what will happen is, if I change this parameter to current year, or let's say current quarter as well, not a problem, then it is showing that particular deal in this negotiation step. Okay, and same as lead reports, if I click on the view data, it takes me to the deal listing, and I get to see that particular deal. So now suppose I am on this report, there are hundreds of leads that are stuck in negotiation. So I can quickly go to those leads, those deals. I can see these are the owners. I can pinpoint these owners, that is users in my system, that why negotiation is taking that long of time, right? So that idea this report gives me, which leads are in which particular stage, why it's taking longer time, which stages are happening so early, is there any need of adding a new stage, is there any stage which is redundant. These kind of insights that this reporting gives me, and I can take better business decisions in terms of my sales process, because essentially everyone is there in the market to make some sales. This pipeline and stages gives me a clarity on how my sales is going on, what are the rectifications that I need to make in my sales process so that my sales is improvised. And also, apart from stages, you can have reports based on stage reasons also. So over a period of time, you can understand how many deals, how many leads are there who have been disqualified because of a certain reason. Okay, so I can see a reporting on my pipeline stage reason also. So I can see how many leads have been disqualified because of a certain reason. So this again gives me an idea. This particular reason is more prominent in terms of getting the leads or deals disqualified. Then I can do something about that reason. Whatever the reason, if it is related to budget, if it is related to the numbers which is incorrect, if it is related to something else, that could be my parameter to measure my sales performance. I can pinpoint that reason. I can discuss among my team members that this is the reason we are facing for mostly disqualifications. What can we do about that? So these kind of reportings gives you a better insight to your business. And how these reports are getting generated, when we are having a set pipeline in our system, our sales executives are marking the stages according to the process, right? There is one more thing that I wanted to cover in today's session is some automation that can be run based on pipeline. So we have already covered these workflows in our previous webinars, but I will quickly have a look on the workflows that are created based on pipeline stages. Okay, so as we know, how do we create a workflow in Kailas? We have to navigate to CRM settings. Under automation, we have to create a workflow. When I choose an entity lead, and let's say when a lead is updated based on a condition, pipeline, stage. Okay, so now there is a use case. Suppose now all good that we have a pipeline in place. Let's say this is how our pipeline looks like. But there are many times there is a requirement that with every pipeline stage, there is a task that the salesperson is supposed to perform. For example, the moment a lead is created, sales user is expected to make a call to the lead or send an email. Okay, but how would they know that there is some expectation set from them, right? So in Kailas, you can create workflows based on pipeline stage such that whenever a pipeline stage is moved to, let's say, open, whenever there is a lead created in the system, the sales user is supposed to perform a task of, let's say, make a call. As simple as that. And I can assign this particular task to that particular lead owner. And what it does, it's simply the moment a lead is updated in the system and is moved in this particular pipeline stage, it automatically creates a task over here and it assigns that task to the owner, which is the deal owner, who is the sales user who is working on that deal. And this task owner also receives a notification that a task has been assigned to them, and if this task is due in a certain time, then they also receive a reminder email from our side. So this completes the loop in a way that we have created a pipeline, well and good. We have created stages, that is also fine. Now we are also reminding our sales executives to perform certain tasks based on the stages. So during my sales process, there could be some expectations. Let's say when a lead is moving, when a deal is moving in the ready for quotation, right? So the owner of that deal is supposed to send a quotation. So we can have an automated task created. Similarly, we can send some automated emails. Now let's say a deal has closed. Okay, so I can write a workflow such that when a deal is updated and its pipeline stage has been moved to 1, right? That means a deal is won. So I would like to send a thank you email to the prospect who was the person involved in that deal. So I can automate that process. So this gives you a acknowledgement to your customer that, okay, if they have ended up buying some product from your website or your company, you are acknowledging the fact that, okay, you are sending. So this is a good gesture to your customers. It's building good relationship with your customers, right? So there are many ways where this sales pipeline in Kailas can be utilized in terms of getting good business insights, getting good business decisions, automating certain flows in the system that is related to your sales process, right? So I think this was mostly it that we wanted to cover in today's webinar. Now we are open for question. I can see one hand is raised. So please unmute yourself and go ahead.
Abhishek, there are 3 questions from Bankim, Abhijit, and Venkat.
Sure.
Send us those.
Yeah, please go ahead. M Onity chart, flow chart of particular pipeline. Sir, can you explain like what do we mean by M Onity flow chart? Is it a funnel that you are talking about, pipeline funnel? This question is about funnel of a pipeline. So basically, this is a typical request that you would like to see for every lead that through which stages the lead followed, and eventually how many leads entered in first stage, then how many went into stage number 2, how many went into stage number 3, and eventually closed. I think this is what the question is about. So that comes under a report type of funnel report, that the development of that particular report type is in progress and it will be available very soon in the system. So you will be able to choose a particular pipeline, then you will be able to see a funnel type of report, how many leads entered in these stages, and essentially how many. So it gives you a visibility of how many leads created versus converted, and that gives you an insight based on your lead conversion ratio. So that is something that's a pending request with us, and we are working on that. If this meant something different, then maybe you can write down your question, sir, again, if my understanding was incorrect. Meanwhile, let us move to the next question, which is there's a question about workflow. So please unmute and ask the question.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Hi, I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. So my question is, you just mentioned about a workflow which can be created for creating a task. So my question here is, every task is lead specific, right?
No. You can create tasks on deals and contacts also.
No, that's not my question. What I wanted to understand here, I know how to create the workflow that has been explained by your team already. So that's not an issue. I can create the task from here. But the issue is that a task is lead specific. If I create a task manually, so what happens? There are some custom fields. Okay. So we have to make some entries like next follow-up date, next follow-up time, and some remarks we have to enter. So here, what I want to understand, by creating a task through a workflow, how it will help us. I mean, we will not be able to customize it. We'll have to create a single task for every lead. So how would this help in the pipeline stage flow?
Okay.
Although my users will get a notification that I understand that one task has been created. Right now, what we are doing, we are creating the task manually. Okay. So, like say, lead 1 said that contact me after 7 days. So we'll create the task and manually we'll do the entries of date and time, and we'll write in the description box that this has to be done. So creating a workflow would really help, or how it can help? That's what I want to understand.
Definitely. So now let us take an example of this particular lead. Okay, so let's say this lead was in open stage. For example, the moment a lead was created, now this lead has been moved in a certain stage. Okay,
Okay.
and at this particular stage, your sales user has to perform a action, and that you are doing it through manual task creation. Let's say
Yeah.
the lead has told you to contact after 7 days. Okay, so
Mhm.
here what we can do is, let me just check if there is any active workflow. Okay, so let's say when a lead, okay, when a deal, let me create a new one.
Okay.
And I would like to assign this task to the owner. That means the person who is working on that lead. Okay, and let me save this. Okay, now let me go to this lead. So there is a lead in the system, and we can see there is no task already. So now the moment I change a pipeline stage, this task will appear over here automatically. Is it an active workflow? Yes, it is. Just a moment. Let me check on the deals once. When a deal is updated, default deal pipeline new equals proposal sent. Sorry. Okay, so this deal has been now moved to proposal sent. That was the workflow, and you can see there is a task automatically created for follow-up, and it has been assigned to the person who is the owner of this deal. Okay, so what now, how it is helping us? Okay, suppose sometimes what happens is, many times these pipeline stages are changed via some integrations. Let's say we have a e-commerce portal. Now a customer has bought some product, and based on that we are changing the pipeline stage automatically. But based on the automated stage change, there is some activity that the sales user has to perform. Okay, now how would this person know that a pipeline stage has been changed and they are supposed to perform some action? Then this automation helps you. You can create a particular flow or create contact, create a task automatically, which is assigned to the right person. So the moment a task is assigned to them, this person will receive a notification that this task has been assigned to them, so that they will understand they are supposed to perform this task. Otherwise, what we will have to do is, you will have to filter all the deals on this, let's say, listing page in a particular stage called proposal sent. And then on every deal, you will have to create a task manually, because eventually the task has to be performed by your sales user. And that is delaying our activity. So instead of creating those tasks manually, you can create it with the help of workflow. This is essentially the benefit of creating tasks automatically.
Okay, all
But
right.
the person has to send the proposal manually, that is for sure. So instead of follow up, let's say I am supposed to make a call to this person, so I will have to make the call manually. That is my job. But how would I get to know that I have to perform this job is something you can do with the help of workflow, so that there is no delay, there is no manual intervention to assign different activities which a salesperson is supposed to perform based on a stage. Okay, so the conditioning has to be correct in terms of this workflow which is supposed to execute. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. My last question: can we have a workflow for multiple stages? In a single workflow, can we have multiple stages?
Yeah. So you can add more stages. So instead of so what we can do is, let's say if this default deal pipeline stage is moved to this or this, let's say.
Okay.
Suppose there are multiple stages which are supposed to do the same action. So you can write something like this instead of proposal sent, let's say in the negotiation. So either this or this will perform the same action.
Okay. All right. Sure.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for asking. Okay, I think there is a message. Sure, what we wanted. I suppose I choose 1 year period and selected name of the team member. Can I have monthly performance of person which help me in how much business? Okay, and after a month this will help. Okay, I think we can do this. So this is a question mostly related to the report. So basically what I can do is, I can have a report by the deal revenue. So let's say there is a entity type as deal, and the report is grouped by owner, and I would like to understand how much of the revenue they have generated for me over a period of time. So the metric will be sum of actual value. Okay, and let's say instead of current year, let me choose last year, and if I generate a preview, okay, so it gives me how much revenue this person has earned. So this number that you are seeing over here is nothing but sum of the actual deal value. And how does that actual deal value comes? Okay, so you can see this number is in INR. Okay, now how this value comes is simply, if you would have noticed, the moment I close a deal, it asks me to fill a value called actual value, deal value. So there are two fields. One is the estimated value, another is the actual deal value. Okay, so estimated value is a field that is filled at the time of deal creation. So let's say I am selling a product worth rupees 10,000. This person is interested. I'll mark that value as 10,000. But at the time of closure, let's say if I have offered some discount, so instead of 10,000, let's say I ended up selling that product in 9500. So this is my actual deal value, which is set as 9500. So I can have a report. I can have a report such that out of all those sales users, how many sales users have how much of the actual deal value along with them. So this person has this much of the deal value, this person has this much of the deal value. So this is the revenue generated by them over a period of time. So if you would like to change this, let's say if you are interested in last month data, current month data, or any certain period of data, that you can choose that range from here. Okay. This is how it helps you to understand how much of the revenue that person has earned for you. Similarly, if you would like to know that how many deals they have closed over a period of time by owner, so we can simply apply a filter on pipeline and its stage, that how many closed deals are there, how many open deals are there with a person. Okay, I can apply a filter on this, and instead of actual value, let's say this is number of deals. So this is giving me an idea that how many deals this person has closed over a period of time. So this gives me idea in terms of number of deals. I could have that idea in terms of deal value also, estimated deal value. And similarly, I can know the projected revenue by a person. So instead of current month, current year, I can choose next month also. When I choose this as estimated closure date, I can choose next month as well. So this gives me an idea that the number of deals that are supposed to close by next month, what is the worth of those deals. This is the idea that this report is going to give me, right? So there are many reports that we can fetch, and we had a dedicated session on reporting in Kailas. Maybe if it is needed, we'll again host that session for more people, and you can find that recording on YouTube also. So there I have shown how many type of reports we can create in Kailas, how they are benefiting us. Okay, I hope this answers the question. Any other questions? I think we are overshooting the time, but still, if there are any questions, I am happy to address them.
Yeah, there is a question from Bankim basically.
Yeah, I addressed that. So this question was about getting the reports by revenue. The last question. Yeah. So this was the same question that I addressed just few minutes back. Yeah.
Thanks.
So they wanted to have a performance idea of every owner, so they can get the performance with the help of the revenue that every person has generated over a period of time.
Great. So I can see other people also. So is there any question from your end? Okay. So it seems like there is no question. So if in case you have any question, you can just drop a mail to support ID that I have already given in the chat, support@kailas.io. And like if you need any other concerns, then do like feel free to just email me as well, pravash.pujari@kailas.io. So it was really a great session, Abhishek. Thanks a lot, and thanks everybody to join this session. So we are going to post the next webinar on next Wednesday. Thanks everybody.
All right. Thank you so much everyone for joining. Thank you. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.